Hello, and welcome to this training video. During this session, we're going to be talking about the group calendar view. So let's go ahead and begin. To access this section, we're going to click on the calendar tab, which will bring us to the calendar inside of the application. Now, when you get to this screen, this is just going to show you your individual calendar. To access the group calendar, we're going to use this View By drop-down menu. And then here is our group calendar. All right, so the sole purpose of the group calendar is being able to set up groups of multiple employees and then being able to see several employees' calendars at one time. So let's talk about a few of the functions that we have here. First and foremost, let's discuss how we can create a new group from this page. To do that, we're going to use the green puzzle piece, so I'll click here. And that's going to present me with this pop-up window. First thing I have to do is I have to name my group. Then I'm going to select all the people that I want inside of this group. To select more than one, you have to hold down the control button on your keyboard and then select all the appropriate people. Once you've selected those, then we will click on Save Group. Now that the group has been created, we'll click on it. And now I can see all of these calendars at the same time. Now, on this calendar, there are already some items populating on it. There is a color coding. Green means this is a marketing related task. Red means that this is a calendar event. A calendar event is an example of a doctor's appointment, kind of a company meeting. If you see a blue box, that is job related. So let's talk about how we can put something on someone's calendar. The first thing that you have to identify is where you want to put this event. Once you do that, it's going to be a click and drag process. So if I wanted to put something on this Saturday for Bob, I'm going to find the start time, I'm going to click, and I'm going to hold my click, and then I'm going to drag it as far as I need to inside of that same day. Once I'm done, I'm going to release my click. That's going to bring us to this screen where we will create the action item we need for Bob. From this screen, I have three options. I can create a job-related task, I can create a marketing-related task, or I can create a calendar event. If we're creating a job-related task, the first thing that we have to identify is what job is this for. This is beneficial because on the calendar itself, it will populate the job number, address, phone number, customer's name right there on the calendar, so there's an easy reference for it. Now, this drop-down menu, I can scroll and find the one that I want to, or I can start typing, and as I type, it's going to match what I've typed out. So I'll just choose this job here. Now, over here to the right is Bob's name because we were on Bob's calendar when we click and drag. Now, I can add additional people to this if I need to, just by clicking on that employee's name and then clicking on this single arrow here. The double arrows, that will move all employees this way or all employees back. Okay? If I need to move someone back, click here, click on the single arrow, and now they're back inside of the list. This checkbox here will allow the system to send an email to whomever I have inside of this box here. It'll go to the email that has been set up for this employee inside of the employee section when they were created as a user. Okay? In that email, they will receive an attachment that they can accept and can put it on their phone's calendar. So I'll check this box here. Here, I have the due date, the start time, and the end time. These have already been pre-filled based on that area that I click and drag on from the calendar page. But this is editable. If I chose the wrong date, I can just click on this calendar or click on the text box and change it to which date it needs to be. Okay? If I need to change the time, I can click inside of this box and then change the time that I want it to be at. Inside of this task box, this is where you're going to be identifying what needs to be performed. Okay, we're going to leave the completed box unchecked because this task is yet to be completed. Once it gets completed, then someone can go here and mark it complete. Now, if I wanted to set up a recurring event, meaning this individual is going to be doing this same thing for a certain period of time, I could click on this recurring checkbox, choose what period of time I want, so I'll say monthly, and then in this box I'm going to put a number. That number is going to indicate, for example, how many months do I need this to show up. So if I type in the number 3, all that means is this event is going to show up on this person's calendar for the next 3 months. Okay, but I'm going to uncheck this because I don't want it to be a recurring event. Okay, once I've satisfied all the information that I need here, I'm going to click on my Save button. And now I can see that this is populated on Bob's calendar. If I hover over this blue box, it's going to give me this little pop-up where I can see what's being done, the customer that it's for, job number, address, city, state, phone number, all that's ready there for me. Okay. Now, if I need to, I can move this if it's being rescheduled. If I hover my mouse over the top of this box, you'll see that 4-pronged arrow. I can click and drag it to another date. Okay. Just understand that this will not reissue an email to that employee. Okay. I also have the ability of shrinking or making this longer. If I hover to the far end of this, I get my 2-pronged arrow, and then I can click and drag and shrink it in. Okay, so now it's just been updated on this person's calendar. If I want to complete this task, all I have to do is double click on this, and then I can click on this checkbox, the day that it was completed on, and then I can save it. If I want to, I also have the ability of editing the text, the task of a particular action item if I'd like. Just single click on one of the boxes, and that's going to present you with this. And if you click on the Enter key of your keyboard, it'll update it. And now I can see that it's changed the text of that particular task. Okay. You also have the ability over here to the left, if you want to jump to a day, you can just click on the day you want to see, and that'll move the calendar to that date. Okay. Now, we talked about creating groups. Let's talk about how we can edit groups. Here I have this pencil icon where I can edit a group. Once this window pops up, we're going to choose the group we want to edit. This will update, and then I can just add more employees. I can take employees off. The best way of doing this, go ahead and hold down the control button on your keyboard, because if I click on one that's already highlighted, it will uncheck them, and then I can just scroll down and choose anybody else I want to. Okay, once I'm done, I'm going to click on my Update Group button. If I don't want to do this, I can cancel. And now that has been updated for us. Once we click on this estimators group, and now that group is updated for us. Okay. You also have the ability of deleting one of these groups if you'd like. Click on the red X, choose the group that you want to delete, and then click on the Delete Group button. Okay. Just understand that by doing this, it's not going to delete any action items or anything like that. It's just going to delete the actual view of the calendar. It's not going to affect any individual's calendar whatsoever. Now, from the group calendar as well, we also have a preferences option up here. This is where I have the ability, if I click on this groups tab, I can change a few things. I can change how many days I'm seeing at a time, so I can go as many or as few as I want to. I can also change the start time and the end time of my calendar. So if you have specific office hours you want to plug in here, this is where I can do it. Just make sure that when you've done, you click on the Apply button. And now the start time on all of my days is 8 o'clock. Now, from this screen, you also have the ability of printing your calendar. To do that, we're going to click on our Print Options button. Okay, and then this is going to be some of your options. So first you have to choose your print option. A full calendar is going to be everything. It's going to have job alerts on it. It's going to have special instructions on it. It's going to have all the job details on those particular tasks. If you need more information about job alerts, special instructions, please feel free to check out the Create a Job video for more information there. Okay, you can print it without the job alerts. You can print it without the special instructions. You can just print the live calendar if that's what you'd like to do. Now down here, this is where we're going to select our date range. Okay, so I can choose to print just today. I can print the previous week. I can print the previous month, or I can print a custom range. Once I choose this button, then I'll need to define what that range actually is. Then I will click on the print button. So this is what the calendar will look like when it's printed. It's basically going to provide you with the list of everything that has to be done by each person on that calendar. So here are all of Bob's tasks, here are all of Gabby's tasks, and then so on and so forth. Okay, it's going to provide me with the job alert. It's basically going to provide me with however I select in my print option. So I have the ability of hiding the job alert. I can hide the special instructions if I want to. That's ultimately up to you. Up here at the top, I do have the ability of just printing from right here, or I can export this to a PDF file if I want to email this out to someone, if that's the way they want to look at it on their phones potentially. Okay, so those are your options there. Okay, so one other thing that we'll talk about, I'm going to go back in and set up something for Bob again. So we also have marketing action items and calendar events. If I select marketing action item, and there is a video that will cover this more in depth, if I select the marketing action item option, from here I have the ability of choosing what company they're going to see, what person at that company, if we have any inside of our contact manager. These two drop-down menus are pulling from your contact database. Okay. The amount, we usually recommend leaving that blank until they're coming back after the fact to complete it, because this is where they can document how much was spent if they took someone to dinner, took them to a sporting event. What activity are they performing? This is just going to be a list of preset options set up by your marketing administrator, and you can check out more about this inside of the marketing activities training video. Okay, we were on Bob's calendar, that's why his name is over here, but I can move other people to it. Then I can email Bob, and then my due date, start time, and end time have been established based on that area that I click and drag on. My task, this is where I can say, and then I have the same completed and recurring event options. Now, a calendar event, this once again is where you're just saying, I'm going to be out of the office because I may have a doctor's appointment, I'm on vacation this week. This is where you're identifying that. So same functionality here. I can move other employees over to this. I can move employees back over. Do I want to email this to someone? Start date and end date. Now, the calendar events are the only items that can be spread across multiple days. So here I have the ability of saying this is going to go from 12/24 all the way to 12/31. Start time and end time. And then I can put in what the task actually is. They may be going out of the office, vacation. Those examples are applicable there for this type of calendar event. And then same options, I can complete it. I can do a recurring event. So all three of these you have the ability of doing from the calendar. You can do it from the individual's calendar, or you can do it from their group calendar. Okay, so that's going to wrap up this training video for the group calendar view. Please feel free to check out the other calendar videos that we have, as well as any other training videos that you see fit. Thank you so much. Have a great day.